traders and investors alike were green today. Another awesome day in the market. We had a lot of clear, crisp signals. Had a lot of stuff happen today. First, we had Bullard come out this morning. Bullard was a lot more dovish than normal. Still some hawkish comments in there, but a lot more dovish than normal. I think he could be trying to get Brainerd's job, or where Brainerd moved up. We'll see about that in time. But then we had the FOMC minutes come out. They were released in NVIDIA. They reported earnings tonight. So they did have an EPS beat and a revenue beat. But their quarterly revenue of $605 billion is down 21% from a year ago. Now, NVIDIA is now offering AI as a cloud service. So that just mentioning AI alone right now is bullish in this market. So that has helped pump them up, and we're going to see these charts. Has definitely helped move the chip sector. That's going to provide some opportunities coming in tomorrow and for the rest of this week. So, and at the Fed meeting where they released the minutes, basically all the governors or all the feds were in line with one another when it come to raising the 0.25 need. That inflation has been moving down. We know from just watching the charts that short term, here very recently it started to move up, but inflation has pulled back considerably until very, very recently, even though we're not feeling it in our pockets yet. So we know, and they basically are saying that they need more time to process and see what's going on. So let's get moving through the charts, and we'll continue to talk about the stuff that happened today as well. So our oscillators for the NASDAQ, we were overheated this morning. We're still overheated here at a negative 226. We can still move. We can still move lower. We're overheated here at 211 on the New York Stock Exchange. We prefer to be 100 in either direction. Plus or minus is in the neutral zone. Over 100, you're starting to get warm. Over 200, you're starting to get hot. But you can see we got, we can still pull back further. This is when you start looking for a possible bounce, though, and we're going to talk about some levels that we could bounce at. So you can see the SPX here has lost the weekly 50 and the weekly 9. Breath actually pushed up today, so that's a good sign. We didn't turn our moving average up there. But breath did push up today, but still seeing a lot of weakness. So even though price was pushing up here, we were seeing breath, in a downtrend. We were having up days, but overall, breath was pulling back. So that was telling us that participation in the market was steady fading on this push up. And this is the TNX chart I was talking about. So when bonds pull back, yields push up. That helps push inflation up, and that's what we're seeing here. But you can see it did pull back, and that's what the feds were mentioning this morning, that they did see inflation moving, pulling back. But here very recently it has took a turn and has been pushing back up. And this is the dollar. This has a little bit to do, or at least this was offering clues. We've been watching this breakout, been watching every candle on this. Not like we watch it constantly, but we've definitely kept an eye on it. So we knew this was pushing up. We knew this was probably going to put a little pressure onto the market, especially when we're crossing this 104 area. Something about that 104 area when we get there seems to put a little pressure on the market. The VIX gapped up yesterday. Today's candle is called a dark cloud cover. You can see this candle opened up above the previous candle, so it's telling us that it gapped up, actually pushed up, and then the bulls come back in and pulled this candle back down, and this candle pierced into your previous candle body. So it cut into this previous candle body. So that's pretty bearish. I would like to have seen the close a little stronger. And I would like to get back into the Bollinger Bands here as well. A little bit about that candle. That is a very bearish candle. Crude got a big bearish engulfing candle there today. It's not really a bearish engulfing. It's a strong down candle, though. Apple breaking below the 20-day. Apple intraday. We didn't get a lot of range in a lot of our stocks today, but you can see this push here at the very end of the day. NVIDIA has helped tech out considerably here, and we're going to see that as we're going through the charts. Gold is still pulling back. It's exactly what we've been expecting there. Those names can be hard to trade. Gold's a hard trader, at least in my opinion. It moves differently from what I'm used to. It's more, for me, it's more of a position taking type trade. The advanced decline lines have all rolled down here, except for, you can see the small caps turned up, mid caps turned up a little bit, but the Nasdaq, or the New York Stock Exchange, and the S&P 500 definitely showing some weakness there in the advanced decline lines, all under the 9. AMC pushed to yesterday. We had a very strong day yesterday, and at market open, it did push a little bit today and had a big pullback. And you can see retesting previous pre-market levels there, and kind of retesting the yesterday's highs right in that same range. So it had a really nice day yesterday. Had a good push at market open and then pulled back. I know one of the traders in our room hit that a couple times today, was able to snag some trades on that. Of course, we had it on the radar, seeing flow coming in on it as well. AMD, you can see this big move. So this move is coming off NVIDIA's earnings, up almost $3 here, and after hours, really nice move. I just happened to mention today that NVIDIA would probably mention AI into their earnings, and the only reason why I even mentioned that was because AI was getting some attention. We had it on the radar, and I'm just curious of why it was getting some attention, and just the fact that everybody's mentioned AI and NVIDIA being a player in the market, I just couldn't think that they could resist getting into the game. You can see Amazon head and shoulder pattern started to work, coming back. See if we can get a test of this 9, see if we can get another move down off of that. ARK pulling back here. ARK actually had a green day today. You can see Abby. Abby wasn't that strong. Decent day yesterday. Did pull back at the end of the day a little bit. Opened below that 9, and it did push up above and got pulled back. Closed below that 9. Opened and closed below that 9. You can see AMD here pulling back as well. You got some small candles there, holding below resistance, but we just don't have a whole lot of range in these candles today. You can see AMD's weekly's candle right now, no range in that candle at all. I had a good day, but it was, they were short trades. It was shorter trades, a lot of them. So, but that's honestly, that's a lot of my days. Affirm coming down here, testing the 50, trying to get back above this daily 9, finding good support down here on this 50. We did close right at that daily 9. I would like to see that above. If we gapped up and opened up tomorrow, that could be in play. Affirm, you can see here intraday, nice push up, nice signal there for the downside move coming in. Amazon, very choppy intraday. Weekly, we're getting some tight action down here, below the 9 and 20 on the weekly right now, struggling down there. Apple testing, actually looks like Apple closed below the weekly 50, not good. Boeing still remaining in this pattern. To make sure you got your rectangle drawn. We did get a fake breakout up here, and we pulled back in. Market conditions were not favorable for this move. I honestly have mentioned this several times. I really think Boeing wants to chop sideways for a while, so we're watching that pattern. And I've mentioned the reason why I think Boeing's going to chop sideways for a while is because the way the Bollinger Bands are. This is not a pinch. I know we look for these pinches, but this is not a pinch. This is right here, just where it's just going to trend. Just grind along. We ended up moving up here, but it was nothing special, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. It's a sideways action. This closes up more like a tube. Bitcoin weekly still under that weekly 250 there. You can see Bitcoin here today. Tonight's candle, we opened up below the 9, so I've been expecting a pullback here too. Got this little rounded top. As good as that chart looked a few days ago, I'm still thinking it was going to pull back with the markets. Boeing moving lower here. Chewy moving lower. CVX, pretty tight day. Doji there. Not a lot of action. Very tight. Basically open and to close are basically the same, right in very close to the same area, and that's what a doji candle is. You can see CAT here breaking down out of that head and shoulders pattern. That right shoulder got an awful long. Charge point got a double top, some double topish action here. Either way, we're trading in this range. If we can break below, there's support here at the bottom of these candles. Look for support down here on your 50 as well. Breaking out of this box, looking for a move down. Chewy here got this double top we talked about on Sunday. You can see the M pattern there. Very nice pattern. Gap down, even mentioned if we gap down, definitely look for a move. Took the 50 out. Spinning top down there today. They can see some follow through though. So this candle, and we talk about in the Discord all the time how to trade these candles. This candle did offer some follow through. You would expect follow through on that candle, and there was enough room from this candle from where we opened up to this tip to make money. And the way that I explained how to trade them, that was a textbook move. Cisco flagging right into your 9 and 20. Coin here, got this downtrend, looking for that to be taken out for a move up. Lose those moving averages for a move down. Staples, I was hoping to see some action come into Staples with the market pulling back, especially on this big candle, but it's fizzled right out. Respecting the 9 and 20 though. You can see DraftKings here back into the Bollinger Bands. Lily's down here chopping under this 200, some tight action. I imagine we got a move coming there, that daily 9's on its way down. XLE testing previous support level. So we got FCX here, this diamond. Look how it's trading very tightly in between the two moving averages. So you got your daily 9, your daily 50, just jammed right in that area. Looking for a move up if we take, to the upside, for a move down for the, take this 50 out for a move down. But I'm still expecting a move down, to be honest. Look at your MACD. Looks like it's getting ready to pinch and start pouring on the coal again. Google, this head and shoulders pattern. I need to clear this chart and start all this over and get rid of some of this. But this head and shoulders pattern, we broke to the downside. Tight candle there today, waiting for that daily 9 to catch up, to move lower. IWM, another one, tight range. Nice push at market open there though. Qs, bouncing right off the previous level of resistance, coming down to a previous level of support. See how we act here. Very tight doji candle on the Qs today. Very tight. And you can see Qs intraday here, tight action. Qs weekly, we lost the weekly 50. The weekly 9's on its way up. I'd like to have held that weekly 50 and have that weekly 9 come up and push off of that. JP Morgan for a big move to the downside. We were expecting a pullback in these names as well. Moderna, head and shoulders, working here, moving down. 200, talked about this morning in the daily levels video. 200's down there, worked as support. Moderna, you can see a big move here after hours. NVIDIA really moved this market. A lot of these names are up. MU here, you can see MU had a nice move up. Not as big as some of these other names. Was able to push up above this pre-market area right here. Or, I'm sorry, not the pre-market area. Our midday area. So we were able to close above that. Obviously, we couldn't get above the high of the day. But a very nice push there at open. And like I explained at why we were trading, that's the expected move. So we would expect follow through off of these big down candles we had yesterday, and our intraday showing us that that's the exact move that we are looking to, that basically that I teach when it comes time to catch a follow-through candle, that the intraday moves are exactly what we would expect if we were trading a 1-minute follow-through candle. It's the same exact information. It's just a different time frame. As your time frames stretch out, you allow more time. So it may take a few minutes for a 5-minute candle to get follow-through, where obviously in a 1-minute candle, we're expecting that in less than a minute. So if you got daily, obviously it may take an hour or maybe a little longer for the proper reaction to take place that we're looking for. Mara, you can see Mara is under the 9 and 20 here. I just don't like trading them when they're between the 9 and 20. They clear it, I'll take it in either direction, but it's just got to clear it. So you can see Merck here holding this daily 50. Looks like we closed barely, but we closed above that daily 50. Meta respecting the 9 to the downside. You can see this downtrend that we're forming here. Still watching it for a gap fill. If we lose that 20, looking for a move down. Some really tight action there today. Some really tight candles. You can see basically closed on the open. That's why we got that tight little doji. Not much range. That's why we don't have very big wicks on that candle. Just tight action there. But it was tradable. The signals worked out. They were clear. A lot of the signals were clear. So we had indications that the SPY was getting ready to pull back. We've seen market leaders pulling back. We've seen a lot of other stuff in the market failing. The SPY was still holding on. That gave us time to set up for a nice trade, and boom, the SPY followed right into exactly what we expected. You can see MU here holding this 50. Now we know we've gapped up here, so we're back up off that 50. See where we open up tomorrow. Microsoft's been trading pretty gappy here. Just a little surprised when I took a good look at this chart this afternoon and seen all those gaps. Trying to hold that 50-day, struggling there. MACD's just turning bearish. It's a very tight range here today as well. Microsoft, and we talked about this on Sunday. We had opened up or closed below the trend line. We opened up below the 50 here into that 9. So we're below our 50 weekly. NVDA rolling over. Tight action there today below the 20. MACD's turned bearish. Big move tonight. So we went from the 212-ish area, 213-ish area up to 226. Huge move on earnings. And we could see some follow through tomorrow. This is still not a bad looking chart we were expecting. You can see the candles changing. That's called an advanced block. There's 3 candles right there, the 3 green candles. That's a bearish candle pattern called an advanced block. And then you can see your doji. This is actually called a high wave candle, and we're starting to pull back on that. A lot of information telling you on that chart that a pullback's coming. Now, earnings move tonight, could cancel all that. NASDAQ, nice move down. Tight move today. Netflix pulling back here as well. Palantir, 3 down days in a row, tangled up in all those moving averages. I'm just not interested in trading them when they're locked up in all those moving averages like that. Peloton down below the 9 and 20 here as well. Seeing the pullback, we've been expecting this pullback. We're getting it. Plug posted this little head and shoulders. Got a big move down out of that yesterday. Nice move there. The Qs is down here on a gravestone. So we've pulled back flat here. Got this little gravestone. So basically your gravestone's telling you, it's been a while. I believe it's all the, so the Japanese look at it as a gravestone, and they have sayings that go with all these candle patterns. And here they said this was the graves of all the bulls that died defending their territory or their price levels. You can see Riot here, just drifting, just chopping there, waiting for Bitcoin to do something. And we can see Bitcoin's below that 9, so we could start to see a move down there. That's going to provide a lot of opportunities. Got some gaps here on Robolex we need to keep an eye on. Well, intraday we won't have the gaps, but we are holding support here, kind of diamondish here. You could actually draw the lines on that. Same here. A lot of these charts are starting to look the same. Got this little diamondish look to them. Roku had an update today with Roku though. The SPX. So if you go back and you look at Roku here, you can see the relative strength. It's a bullish inside day. So this is a bullish Arami. So this is an inside day candle. So we would be expecting a move up off of this tomorrow, but we need to clear this candle line. And then your next level you want to watch is this wick. SPX pulling back. So we're holding that 50%, the 50-day and the 50% fib level from that move from the top. We're also holding the 5% pullback as well, the number that I gave out. We pushed up basically just a little above that level. We pushed up from there. 330 here on the diamond, pulled back, broke out of that ascending triangle today. And you can see it here. We broke to the downside. You got your 20 weekly holding for support. The S&P or the SPY pulling back, holding the 50 there, so we're right on top of that 50. We gap below it. Well, that's your weekly chart. We would have to gap below it on Monday, but we could still move below that. If the SPY gaps down in the morning below its 50-day, you can see we're close to the 50-day here. The SPY was the gap down below that 50-day. It'll clear us from those levels as well. The SPY monthly, we've been watching that 20 as a resistance level, and it worked. The SPY rolling over your 9 and 20, crossing, heading lower. Turned more worried about the angle of them than I am the cross. Coming down, there's your 50-day there. Bollinger Bands are opening up, allowing, looking for a move lower. SPY, fairly tight range intraday. You can see we've lost midterm and short-term trends are now bearish. Long-term trends still on a bullish trend. Square here breaking down out of this lower high. Exactly what we expected there. Tesla showed a lot of relative strength in this market today. XLK pulling back there as well. Tesla, this is Tesla's weekly. We got this resistance level. Struggling there a little bit, so we're pulling back from that resistance level. This is Tesla's daily chart. We are now below the 9. We did have so we had a decent day. We seen that on intraday. We had a strong move up, but we are still below this 9. Could still see a move lower. We're losing our MACD. We still have that March 1st catalyst coming up there. GDX moved down exactly what we were expected. Come down to that 200, testing your 200 there daily. SMH daily, moving lower here as well. Kind of what we expected. XL left rolling over, got that rounded top, moving lower, exactly what we expected. Energy's moving lower. Crude's been pulling back. Crude's been struggling. TLT, we talked about this double top. We're moving lower. To confirm this double top, we have to move lower below these candles to confirm the next line. But you can see the M pattern forming up here. Bonds showing weakness is exactly what we don't want. They did try to push up today, but really they just got us back into Bollinger Bands. If we do push up, look for a bear flag type move off that 9. IWM bull flagging into that weekly 9. We can still push here. You can see the big down candle yesterday, tight spinning top today, basically a little harami down here. And this is the put to call ratio. This is not updated, but I will definitely have that number for everybody in the Discord in the morning. Please keep in mind that discipline is the key to your success in trading, and have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the trading room.